Welcome to the Super Chunky Podcast with your hosts, Christy and Bert. Today is March 31st, 2018, and this is episode 1. So how exactly did we meet? That's a good question.
It is a good question, and I'm not sure that it's one that I can answer.
Right. Like, I was trying to think of that the other day, too. Like, I mean...
I'm pretty sure it was in between the two shops.
Yes.
Or, like, the two instances of W Yarn Shop.
Because you didn't go to any of the Knitterventions.
Well, I rarely went to Knitterventions.
Right. And that's, all I ever went to. And then I finally, towards the tail end, before she closed her shop for the second time, first time, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, she only closed once.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
She moved more than once.
Right. Moved when she moved, before she moved. I started going to like the Wednesday mornings, I think, but you didn't go because you worked, so you didn't go to those. So I don't think we had actually met until after her shop closed.
Right.
And then it was at the Caribou Tuesday night knitting thing. And I was afraid of you at first.
Yeah. See, there were folks who knew both of us, but we had never crossed paths for some reason. You know, probably just we were at the shop at different times. I used to go on Saturday mornings a lot.
Yep.
And sometimes Tuesday nights, but not anytime during the weekdays because that, pesky day job. But which changed during that time as well. But yeah, I don't know if it was a Caribou though. I think it might have been.
No, it was Caribou because it was at the big table.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think you did any of the library ones that I set up.
Well, I did the one where we found out the shop was reopening.
Oh, yeah.
I was at that one.
Because then
it was really funny because I walked in right after Kelly had announced it. And then I walked into a bunch of yelling and stuff. And I was like, what's going on?
Right. That was kind of funny.
We're in the library, guys.
Because we all screamed excited and then quickly shut up and went, because we realized we were in a library.
It was, So clearly I don't remember it very well.
Right.
Except that, I'd heard stuff about you, and I kind of felt like you were some sort of weird rival that I couldn't really figure out why, because I didn't know anything about you other than a lot of people seem to really like you.
Right.
But I thought they liked me.
What's not to like?
So, look, what the heck? Right. Who's this guy? And what's his deal?
Well, and guy knitters, we're so rare, Right? We're like unicorns.
A little bit. So that might have been a little bit of it too, but yeah, I just kept hearing all these amazing things about this amazing Bert, and like, okay, but I don't remember the meeting necessarily,
right?
But I
remember the first time that I went. I think I don't remember if I sat at the table or if it was already full, so I had to sit at the chairs because I know my wife came a couple of times to the Tuesdays, and she ended up working on writing her book while I knit with all the ladies. And I just remember you would talk to people, but we didn't talk. And I don't know why, but I was nervous. Maybe my anxiety. And I was the vibe I initially got, I think was I don't know if we would jive right or not. And maybe it was the second or third that I was forced to, the only spot that was open was next to you you were at a corner. And so I was at the other corner of the, same corner. We were 45 degree. Is that what that is? 90 degree? 90 degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were right on the corner, I think. And really, I had nobody else really to talk to because everybody else was chatting away. And so we started chatting, and then it was we were talking about the same things. And it was how have we not met before?
Right.
And then it just started from there. And then we started going Saturdays, and yeah. And now we meet every other week. So.
Yeah, I work a flexible schedule at work where I have every other Friday off, so which is nice. Tends to work pretty well most every other Friday.
Yeah.
To be able to hang out at the shop and kind of catch up with
Except
stuff.
Next Friday will be the shop hop, so we won't be knitting at the shop.
I know. We'll be meeting at all the shops.
All right, we'll be knitting in the car. And except your mom doesn't get to knit, which is kind of sad. She just has to, drive.
It is, but
Well, even when she's come to the shop, she doesn't really sit and knit that much.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't. Yeah. So I did witness her knitting the other day when I was at her house for dinner. So it does happen. Things get created. Although she was doing a shop hop thing from Stephen B. from a bunch of years ago that somehow the yarn isn't, like, the amount of yarn isn't working out. And so we're not exactly sure if she made a mistake somewhere along the way or what, but still looks fine. But she's like, I'm not anywhere near the end, but I'm almost out of yarn. So it'll be fine. But then she was wondering if maybe she could get some of my yarn that I got. And then we realized that she got sort of like greens and blues, and I got like yellows and pinks. It's like we got each other's yarn.
Right. I was just going to say that's yellow and pink. That's not you.
No, but it's really pretty. I probably should make it one of these days. It's like a 2 yarn set, and one of the yarns is a silk and the other one's a mohair, and you kind of go back and forth between the two. And it's like, I should make it. I should expand my color story a little bit.
Yes.
So
color is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we decided, since we talk all the time, and sometimes people laugh while we're talking at the yarn store, we figured we might as well record it and have fun. So what you drinking, Christy?
I'm drinking a new tea that I got from Adagio Teas called Teaster Marshmallow.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
As we're recording, tomorrow's Easter, so it seemed like a good choice for today. It's a green rooibos. I don't know anything about green rooibos. What makes it different from other rooibos? I have no idea.
Right.
And then apple pieces, candy sprinkles, vanilla cream flavor, apricots, and marigold flowers.
Oh my God.
It's tasty. That's
I
all
want
I can
that
tell you.
Well, the last one you told me, that lemon one, I went and bought that, and that box is practically gone now.
That one's a good one. It's just I don't know, Tazo or Tazo.
Yeah.
The lemon
glazed bread.
The cake thing. Yeah. Lemon glazed loaf.
Yeah. And my kids drank it more than I have.
It's good stuff. I don't know how they get those flavors out of what's in the packets.
Right. Because it just says orange peel.
Yeah. I mean, it's some sort of alchemy as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So,
it's magic.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm drinking, I tried out the new Circle, Cirkul water bottle. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have not.
So it's a water bottle that its goal, I guess, is to be more eco-friendly. And so instead of having, it's a reusable water bottle, but you can put a cartridge in there for your flavor. And then it's got a dial on the top that you can turn how much flavor you want, from like 1 to, I think the highest I can go here is 9. And it's good. It works. The cartridge, I guess the flavor in there is like super concentrated. I was able to fill it. I had it on a 5, and I was able to fill the bottle like 4 or 5 times before it started running out. And I like it. I just don't like that you're limited to their cartridges. Like, I would like a refillable option.
I was going to say, I looked it up. I went to their website, and I guess I had taken a look at this. It must have come up as like a Facebook ad or something.
That's how I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have seen it, but I wasn't really, I kind of wanted to hear from other people who tried it first.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I only had to pay the shipping, and I got 2 cartridges and the water bottle for free. And I put the second cartridge in now, and it's good. And you can do like a subscription thing, and you can get like a couple boxes come to you every month of whatever flavors you pick. And I guess the price is probably pretty comparable, but again, I wish it was something that I could just refill the cartridge with instead of having to buy more cartridges.
Yeah. Huh. 8 cartridges, 62 cents a bottle fill up.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not bad.
But so the flavor is good? Yeah,
the flavor is pretty good. I think I got a fruit punch and then a mixed berry, and both of them were pretty good.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I might get a box in this, but I don't know. My goal was to try and get rid of soda, because I do drink way too much soda.
Yeah.
And I can't do just plain water.
I still drink too much carbonated water.
Yeah, I've been doing
I tried to go off the like bottles from Walmart and
right.
just can't quite do it because then I'm just not drinking enough anything.
Right,
That's
exactly. Me too. I need something fizzy, and I mean this is good. It's not fizzy, obviously. I did feel like I was going through the bottle more, which I guess maybe that's good. I was drinking more, but yeah.
All right.
So now, what's been new with you? We haven't seen each other since we didn't meet last Friday because I was out of town.
Right. Yeah, there's not a lot, or at least, stuff that anybody else would care about. Work is always work.
Right. You've had uneventful week, unlike me.
Yeah, no, I haven't had any appliances
blow
suddenly choose to stop operation
or decide to run away and be 600 degrees and not shut off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my oven would do that if I ever used it, but
well, it would get hot in your place. That's why.
Well, that's the thing. It's so small that it. Well, and now with the sun and stuff, I don't even bother. But yeah, this winter I didn't really do much baking. My kitchen is getting crowded by mini appliances.
Right.
Like I got a toaster oven and an Instant Pot. I don't use these things either, but they're taking up counter space, so I can't use. I'm limited in how much I can do. I was
going to ask you what you thought of your Instapot, if you've used it yet, because I keep getting, since you got me hooked on that kitchen email newsletter, I've been seeing a lot of articles for Instant Pot. So I've been like,
Yeah. It looks pretty on my counter. That's what I can tell you so far. My friend Barb, who you still have not met, recently got one, Barb, and she talks about it all the time. She's always posting stuff that she's using it for. Okay. So she really likes it, but she also likes to cook. I don't. And so I think that something like this is going to make me want to do things, and it doesn't really make any difference.
Right.
But I'm sure I'll use it eventually.
I think the piece that freaks me out a little bit about an Instapot is that it's also a pressure cooker.
Yes, that's what it is.
My parents had one back in the 80s, and I just remember a couple times my dad releasing the pressure too soon and the thing like exploding practically and denting our ceilings. So they freaked me out a little bit. But speaking
that these are far safer than like regular pressure cookers.
Well, that's good. That's good.
That's what I hear.
Speaking of cooking, I have a recipe. I have to give you how to make a chocolate lava cake in a slow cooker. It is really good.
But does that mean I need to get a new slow cooker? Because, mine died when I tried to do that chili cook-off at your house.
Oh, right. I think you might be able to use the Instapot.
Although if it's just a cake, I might be able to use one of my small ones.
Right.
Because I have a bunch of them. Just my regular size one is dead.
Yeah. And I mean, and it doesn't get like a cake consistency. It is kind of an ooey gooey mess, but it's still good. It's chocolate.
Chocolate is good.
Yeah.
So
what have you been reading lately?
Lately I've been trying to keep up with sort of my book club things. I do a couple of online book clubs. One is with Modern Mrs. Darcy, who's a blogger and other things. She is now an author and stuff too.
Right.
She has a book club, and the main book pick for March was called, trying to find my Goodreads account. Like, where did it go? Also, Goodreads made a change recently that drives me completely bonkers. But besides that, so that one is Stay With Me, which is a book. I think it's set in Nigeria, but don't quote me on that. Well, it's recorded. It's quoted already. But it was an interesting book. I think it's rated really well, and a lot of people in my book club really, really, really loved it. I think I had a hard time relating to it because it's mostly about a marriage and kids and stuff like that. And I don't have those things. And so it wasn't as poignant perhaps for me as it was for other people. But another one I read this just recently was called An Unkindness of Ghosts, a science fiction generation ship kind of thing that the Sword and Laser podcast was reading in